Okay, so in this video we are going to work on how to add a checkbox to a data grid view. So we have the VB. So here we have the public class form. So data grid view dot rows dot add, which true, and we have data grid view dot rows dot add false. So in this code here, add some row to grid view. We are going to add a row to a data grid view, and if true is a checkbox, and if it is false, it means the box is not checked. And we have data grid view dot auto size columns mode equal to data grid view auto size columns mode dot fill. So this is the standard appearance of the settings. And here we create a data grid view checkbox column, which is dim djv check as new data grid view box column bracket open bracket close djv check dot header text. To checkbox, set the header text. So this is the header text, and the two data grid view dot columns dot add data grid. So here we are going to, this code is going to help us add the created column to the data grid view. And we have that here data grid view dot data grid view 2 dot auto size column mode equal to data grid view auto size column mode dot fill. So this one is going to help us configure the grid appearance, the data grid appearance. And we have this one. So here we have data grid view dot rows dot add data grid view 2 dot rows dot add, which is we have false, we have true. So here now here we are going to add the boolean data, because the column is a checkbox column. The grid will correctly render the data as clickable checkboxes. So let's run the code and see how it works. I think for that way we'll understand better. So here, this is the box. This is the box. We have the checkbox 1, we have checkbox 2, we have checkbox. So here the user is going to select the boxes he wants to check, either true or false. So true, as I said in the previous, true means the box is checked, and false means the box is unchecked. So here the user can click on the boxes he wants to check, he wants to check. And here is generated by the code. These are the boxes we checked when we were writing the codes. So these were manually checked. It was manually done. Okay, so in this video we are going to learn if a checkbox is checked. So we have the data grid view here, we have another data grid view here, and we have check if checkbox, check checkbox cell and remove. So let's go to the VB. So we have the import system.io, and we have import system.windows forms. So this code actually is going to help us manage and act on user selections in a data grid view using checkboxes, checking statuses and deleting, and also copying rows. So here we create the columns for the first grade. We have, so this code is the table that has been created for the first grade. And dim dvg checkbox as new. This, we create the checkbox column. This is the key part of for user selection. And also we have the data grid view 1 dot columns dot add dgvcid, also, which is what this one we are going to add the columns to data grid view 1 in a specific order. So maybe 0 1 2, like that. And here, this code is going to add sample rows of data, and also for false correspond to the checkboxes. False corresponds to the check same as the true. So here we are going to configure appearance using this code DataGridView.AutoSize color mode equal to DataGridView color mode dot fill. DataGridView dot allow user to add rows equal to false. So here we are going to create the same structure column structure for the second grid. So same procedure, and here we are adding the columns to DataGridView. We are going to add columns to the data grid view, and this code is going to be used to configure the appearance. So this runs, we have the checkbox button. So when a user click on the checkbox button, this runs when the checkbox button is clicked to check if the button is clicked or it is, if the button is checked or it's not checked. And we have this code. So we have the remove button. So when this buttons run when the remove button is clicked, and it will remove the table from grade 1 to grade 2. And we have uh, for for loop. So we have for I as integer equal to 0 to data grid view dot rows dot count bracket open bracket close minus 0. So this loop will go through each row in the source grid data view. So this loop will go through each source of the data grid view, and if the row is checked, it will return as false equal to false. So loop through the destination grid view. Okay, so we have for j as integer equal to 0 to data grid view dot rows dot count bracket open bracket close minus 0. So this one is going to loop through the destination data grid view to see if this row ID already exists. Also, so and this code is going to help us compare the ID from the source row with the ID in the destination row. Also, if row already exists equal to false, then add the data from the source row to the destination grid. Node, okay, so we have add the data from the source row to the destination grid. We have data grid view dot two dot rows add source code cells 0 0 1, also 2 and 3. So let's run the code and see how it works. Okay, so here we have data grid view 1, data grid view 2, and we have the ID, the first name, the last name, and we have the checkboxes. So here, let's say we want to check the checkboxes. So we click on one ID 1, 2, 3, 3. So let's check the checkboxes. So it means here we have checked. So the ID 1 is checked. Okay. ID 2 is checked. ID 3 is checked. And here we can check ID 1 is check boxes. ID 1 is checked. ID 2 is checked. ID 3 not checked. So we can move. So here we are going to move ID 1 and ID 11 to data grid view 2, the table 2. So here, good. So we are going to have a duplicate of what we moved, what we copied from table 1 to table 2. And we can delete from the original table. So remove, but then it will still be on the duplicate table. Okay, so thank you.